for him. I wasn't going to, but it's not wasting my vote. Hillary's the worst. I'll vote for Bernie.
What a situation. Who would have thought?
No, never, but she just keeps, she's not trustworthy, she's not likable. I have a hard time finding any reason why anyone would vote for her. So.
But the barking, you're not making a big deal out of that.
The barking, oh, that is, as intelligent of an argument as that was and as smart as it made her look, no, that was horrible. That was humiliating.
No, you're picking on her.
No, well, you know what? If you're barking in public...
Kat Timpf just did something nobody saw coming. She went straight at Hillary Clinton, and now the internet can't stop talking about it. Some people are completely shocked. Others are sitting back enjoying every second of the drama. And honestly, somewhere out there, Hillary is probably putting together a massive response as we speak. But Kat didn't just disagree with her. She went after the arguments, the reputation, and the whole public image surrounding her. The reaction has been wild. People are either stunned or totally entertained. What she said caught everyone off guard, and now the entire conversation online has exploded. So get ready, because this situation turned chaotic fast.
Hey, Catherine, what do you think her strategy is going to be now with the emails? I think she's going to rely on her gender completely.
She is an interesting strategy for avoiding having problems with scandals, and that's just she has so many of them that people are like, oh yeah, another scandal. People, it's not a big deal to them anymore. I really judge anybody who's still going to vote for her. She lies so much. These people must, if they trust her to be president, have very unhealthy relationships.
What about you, liberal panel? I bet you're sticking to her through the very, very end.
Before we get into this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because this story gets crazy fast. So here we are again with Hillary Clinton trending online. But this time, it's not because of a new book, another documentary, or some old email drama making a comeback. Nope, this time people are talking because Kat Timpf finally said what a lot of others were too nervous to say. She's clearly tired of the political world acting like Hillary is still running the show behind the scenes.
After Hillary Clinton's Pokemon Go to the polls joke.
I forgot about that.
Can't believe that didn't bring more millennials in. No, because I think a lot of the outreach she's had to millennials has seemed a little superficial. Obama did a really good job of going out and appearing on these shows and getting kind of the lingo, and she's trying to do the same thing. She's not really that good at it, and that's okay. You don't have to act like a millennial, like she's trying to be a millennial and a grandma and all these things. Say what you're going to do for us. Don't try to, it almost feels patronizing to see her doing this or see her on this show and acting like she's just one of us.
Kat came in with that sharp, sarcastic energy and said what a lot of people have been thinking for years but never really said out loud. Not only did she say it, but she also delivered it with perfect timing and zero hesitation. It honestly felt like somebody finally opened the windows in a room that's been stuck in the same political conversation since 2016.
And if you look at it, like you said, he's actually elevated women more so than Hillary Clinton has, I would say. And then there's, she's just running up because she's a woman. I'm a feminist. But if you look at her record, there's women that accused her husband of sexual assault and then she tore them down. So we could have plenty of this discussion on all sides, all around. But this has been what they've been focusing on with Donald Trump. So of course it's had an impact because people are just being fed it constantly. Trump sexist, these stories, this story, that story, rather than looking, I want to talk about policy.
And Hillary supporters reacted instantly. The second the comments started spreading online, people completely lost it. You could almost feel the shock rolling across social media. Suddenly, everyone was digging up old interviews, clips, memes, and every facial expression Hillary's made over the last 10 years trying to defend her image. The whole internet turned into a giant debate over whether she's still some misunderstood political mastermind or just a figure from the past who refuses to step out of the spotlight.
When it comes to taxes in this country, it's not like they're not paying taxes. I mean, by some estimates, they pay 30, 40, 50% of taxes, but it's a line, Kat, that seems to work with this group.
Absolutely, but people aren't necessarily thinking that because Bernie said it, that Hillary's saying it. She's still connected to Goldman Sachs. There's still those speeches that everyone wants to know what they are. So it's not necessarily like he's going to be able to help her. I think that for some reason people just say, oh, free things, free things, free things. But with her, they don't really trust her as much, which is really funny because she really can't be progressive enough. She seems almost too conservative for a lot of these voters, these Bernie voters. I mean, and they're mad about the DNC leaks thing, too.
But Kat wasn't playing games. She's that one person at the party who walks in, turns down the music, and says, okay, but why are we still pretending this is fun? It's chaos energy, but with eyeliner and wit sharp enough to cut through DC fog. She pointed out that the Queen of I would have won if not for, might still be living rent-free inside her own campaign headquarters from 8 years ago. The beauty of Kat's call-out isn't just in what she said, it's how she said it. Calm, casual, and devastating. While Hillary's PR team was probably typing furious drafts of "how dare she," Kat was somewhere sipping coffee and scrolling through cat memes, and she made one thing crystal clear. Hillary's biggest problem isn't sexism, the media, or Russia. It's the inability to retire from her own campaign.
And I think to younger women, and polls show this too, they care a lot less about Hillary being a woman. A lot of millennials support Bernie Sanders. It's more, I think, on the older side. She's not doing as well with women as she would have expected to have done, because she's not getting younger people excited about her. Right. Even though she is a woman, she's not saying, I'm a woman, I'm going to help you with these policies necessarily. She talks a little bit about childcare and some of the things I don't know how we would necessarily pay for. But it's mostly, you're a woman, I'm a woman too. Let's sell these pink little cards. And I'm not a 3-year-old planning a birthday party.
Kat didn't even need to explain it. The internet handled that part for her. Memes spread instantly, turning the moment into full-blown comedy, including one edit of Hillary with a name tag that read, "Still running." That's what makes Kat so sharp against political veterans like Hillary. It's not ideology, it's humor. You can argue facts, break down data, or appeal emotionally, but it's hard to compete with laughter. In that sense, Hillary's attempts to stay in the spotlight start to feel less like leadership and more like political fan fiction, with every speech coming off like a deleted scene from a campaign story that ended a long time ago.
The polls are tightening nationally, but in the key states, Donald Trump really still has a long way to go. I can't imagine, based on everything we already know, what would have to be in these emails, in these schedules, to have people actually care. I don't know, she missed the security briefing because she was throwing a bag of puppies into a river. Would that be enough? I don't even know.
At this point, you could almost imagine Hillary launching a masterclass called How to Lose Elections and Still Feel Like You Won. Module 1, blame everything except self-awareness. Module 2, never acknowledge that the public might have simply wanted someone else. Kat's humor cuts through all of that, not with anger, but with sharp, precise observation. It's like political commentary disguised as comedy, perfectly timed and impossible to ignore. She doesn't take herself too seriously, which somehow makes her even more effective when she does land a point. And after years of living in a kind of political funhouse mirror, Kat's blunt honesty doesn't just land, it hits like a wake-up call.
If you can't figure out, I'm still going to do it because I want to do it.
There's so much entitlement there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's talk about this a little bit, because I actually think she's going to use those NSA emails as an excuse, and she's going to say, look at this agency. They were so cruel to me. All I wanted to do was get a secure BlackBerry, and they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, the victim again.
Yeah.
The reaction was almost predictable. Pundits who usually argue about policy suddenly turned into Hillary's defenders, treating Kat's sarcasm like a major incident instead of a joke. It felt exaggerated, like she'd revealed secrets rather than made a punchline. Somewhere, Bill Clinton probably just sighed, not again, while the online world erupted. Meanwhile, Kat was likely just relaxing, watching a simple 5-minute joke turn into days of debate. People call her irrelevant, but every post she makes triggers endless analysis, which doesn't look like irrelevance at all, but attention she barely has to try for.
Well, no, I mean that barking thing.
Oh.
I think that should take care of all of our problems. That was great. No, that was so bad. That was one of the worst things. Yeah, that made
That was off the cuff.
That made that that made that look normal, like the whole Howard Dean thing. But yeah, of course she should be worried. This is humiliating that it's even something she has to worry about. I mean, the Democrats just cleared everybody away because it was her time to run, and Bernie Sanders is giving her a run for her money because she's just so...
Kat's call-out ended up reflecting something bigger. People still holding on to political figures long after their moment has passed. Every era needs progress, not reruns. While some are stuck replaying 2016 over and over, Kat is basically asking, why are we still telling the same story? Her humor doesn't come from hate, but from fatigue. Because a lot of people are tired of the same familiar names acting like they're still the main characters. And once again, she puts it simply, why do so many politicians behave like pop stars whose farewell tour never actually ends?
It's this slow drip of it. It's making people say, oh, emails, I think I already heard about that. Or, oh, it's so more of the same thing. And she laughs it all off. It's sickening that people don't care more, but I really don't think they do.
When will the American people, though, find abuse of power repugnant enough to say, I don't want that person running the country?
It's not going to get better when she has all of the power of controlling the free world. It's going to get worse. People should be thinking about that. that, but rather than actually looking into these things you're talking about, it's complicated. You have to learn things. How much easier to just say, oh, I heard that Donald Trump's a sexist. I don't like that. I'm not going to vote for him. And sadly, I think that's what a lot more people are doing.
Let's be real, Hillary has never really been known for humor. Jokes about her land, like trying to roast a printer, technically a joke, but it doesn't really respond. That's why Kat's timing hits so well. Everything's become so serious, scripted, and careful that even laughter feels risky. Then Kat shows up and drops a simple, blunt observation into the mix. The same people who defend free speech often struggle when it actually makes them uncomfortable. She didn't really insult anyone, she just pointed things out. But in today's climate, even that can feel like crossing a line.
They are. I'm sure Joe Biden is feeling a little bummed that he didn't decide to. Maybe he'll jump in. Who knows? But this is insane. I mean, we didn't expect her to win New Hampshire, but she really lost. That was a bloodbath. That was humiliating. And if the fact that she's even struggling in Nevada, no matter whether she wins or loses, is reason to worry. And it's on its own.
There's a story this morning.
And that's what makes Kat stand out. She plays a longer game of satire. Every joke feels deliberate, not aimed at destruction but at revealing the absurdity underneath. Meanwhile, Hillary keeps becoming fresh material, like a story that refuses to end because it keeps re-arting itself. Kat didn't just call her out, she tapped into a wider exhaustion with recycled political figures. In moments like this, humor cuts through the noise better than anything else. And even some longtime supporters can't help but laugh, because once leaders become memes, the image starts to lose its weight.
We also need to make sure that the really discriminatory messages that Trump is sending around the world don't fall on receptive ears. He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit more radical jihad.
It only takes one person with humor and no fear to shift the whole conversation. While people debate whether Kat went too far, she's probably laughing at how many still miss the point. That's the power of satire. It exposes while it cuts. Kat didn't just joke about Hillary, she challenged the idea of political figures being untouchable. You can't preach transparency and then get upset at humor. She's not just a commentator, she's a comedic reality check in real time.
Exactly. Yeah, now I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. They're, writing out slavery from history. That doesn't make it go away. We have got to stop with the finger pointing.
Maybe Hillary should take a page from Kat and learn to laugh a little. In the end, history favors those who adapt, not those who insist the joke wasn't funny. Kat didn't destroy her, she just reminded everyone that no one is above being roasted. In a world where politicians act like celebrities and pundits act like prophets, that's a reality check people needed. Hillary may never say it out loud, but the point landed. Kat didn't just call her out, she called time. Eventually, every act has to leave the stage.